The final brain target that we'll explore is brain target 6, evaluation of and for learning. The title here suggests that evaluation is an important part of the learning process and not only an activity at the end of a unit or a course. Assessing student learning occurs from the beginning to the end of the unit and is critical to the learning process. As we explore Brain Target 6 during this session, we'll consider assessment strategies and discuss importance of providing varied ways to assess student learning. Research from the learning sciences suggests that evaluation should aim to accomplish the following: provide students with frequent and relevant feedback, encourage students to actively retrieve information, encourage retrieval opportunities that are spaced over time to enhance memory, and then foster creative thinking through performance assessment. So let's now consider the idea of feedback, which we know affects learning as powerfully as anything else we do within an instructional program. Pashler and his colleagues found that both initial learning and retention improved by almost 500% when instructors provided the opportunity to learn the correct response after an incorrect one was given. The idea here is that mistakes are good ways to guide students to error correction. As we discussed in Brain Target 1, students should see mistakes as an opportunity for learning. It's common for students to study until they think they know the material, then move on to another topic. And it's not unusual for instructors to test once, and if students mastered the content, then move on to the next objective. However, a growing body of research suggests that frequent and active retrieval of information from memory greatly enhances long-term retention of the material. Clearly, while tests and quizzes can foster active retrieval, any type of alternative assessment can be effective in helping students retrieve content, skills, or concepts that they've previously mastered. Using flashcards, creating a concept map, or designing an artistic project that helps retain information are good examples of active retrieval. So the take-home here is that cramming information to pass a test might work for the short term, but doesn't work well if we want to remember the information over the long term. Repeated and active retrieval, spaced over time, produces better retention. Instructors should consider interleaving previous content into assessments or artistic-based performance tasks to promote retention of previously learned material. Take a moment to review just some of the ways that educators effectively provide meaningful assessments and feedback. I add the next few slides to show how we can construct tests that actually move students to think differently. In this slide on the left, you see a commonly used mid-chapter review from a published math program to assess measurement skills. On the right, the teacher gives the students a task that taps into their imagination and creative thinking to assess those skills. Students are asked to imagine a farm and the animals and features they want to demonstrate. They then decide how large the pens of the animals should be, plotted the area and the perimeter. Here, the teacher provides a checklist so the students would know how they'd be assessed on this task. Students can benefit from understanding performance expectations if they're provided with, say, rubrics. Creating an artistic performance, for example, might give students some guidance if a rubric is provided. I leave you with a list of strategies that can be used in assessment formats. And finally, some images of how the arts can become a tool of instruction and evaluation.